This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFall TV in association with MTK Global. We're somewhere in London at an undisclosed venue. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, when David Haye'S retirement news come out yesterday, my immediate thought was, I might not get to interview Adam Moralee again.
I'm sure that was your first thought.
It was my first thought.
Must have been the very first thought. Yeah.
And then today, it's obviously put that to bed because here we are.
Yeah. So I hope you're happy about that.
Which one? I'm not happy about David retiring.
No. Look, I thought David handled his retirement very gracefully. I think he's had a lot of good feedback on it. Very difficult decision for him. He's been a boxer since he was 10 years old, and I think he said in the statement, there's like thousands of days of taking punches, living the life, and now it's time for him to move to the next stage.
After the fight against Tony Bellew, which was 5 weeks ago roughly,
Yep.
It seemed unclear from what David was saying in his post-fight interview whether he would carry on or not. It kind of maybe left it open for people to believe that he could return, but did he need that kind of 5 weeks to really figure out what he wanted?
I think so. I think David didn't want to jump to any conclusions. I think you have a lot of emotions after something like that, and he wanted to make sure that the decision he was making was the right one. I think he talked to his family, talked to his friends, thought about things, and took a long time, all his own words, every word his own word, took a long time to think about stuff and reach a decision. I think he probably formed a gut view and instinct straight after the fight, and that was probably the one he's finished up on. But I think it's very hard. It's very hard to leave something you've been involved in for so long.
Do you believe, from a personal point of view, that he's made the right decision?
Absolutely. I think he has. Ultimately for David, as I said to him, whatever decision he makes is the right one. I think that not just David, but I think any boxer has a particular lifestyle that they lead, and you know what you're doing it every single time. You know at this time of the day you're going to eat this, especially a guy like David who's so disciplined. He knows what he's doing at every single stage of the day. I think he really enjoyed the last camp though, and I know that he loves the whole camp. He loves the lead up. He loves the lock at the door. 10 seconds, Mr. Haye. Open the door. Walk out slowly to his ring walk. Loads of people shouting. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Walking all the way to the ring. It's an amazing thing for a human to kind of get that from other people, and to give all that up ain't easy. Because I don't think it's the same as a promoter. It's not the same as a trainer. It's not the same as a manager. It's not the same, doing what you do, doing what we do. It's not the same as being the main man. And effectively, he's now retired. He's not going to be that person walking to the ring. He'll be either stood in the ring as the promoter or walking with the team.
Undisputed cruiserweight champion, world heavyweight champion. His last two fights, we don't really want people to kind of probably remember David for those last two fights ahead of the career he had.
Look, if you think about the two fights, I mean, in the first fight, I think of course he was unsuccessful in both fights, and we were very clear in the build up to the second fight. There was no excuses. He lost. But I think he showed a lot of courage, a lot of heart in that first fight, that perhaps, the toe incident back in 2011, the toe incident, I think that's been, to some extent, put to bed now. I think people know the heart he showed when you snap your Achilles. If that had happened to a footballer, he would have been airlifted off the pitch. David boxed a significant amount of rounds after that. Yeah, of course it's not his finest moment, and I'm sure he would want to be remembered as 2-weight world champion. But what happened, and he gave his all, and he went out fighting.
Well, we saw yesterday on social media the response from everyone in boxing, including Tony Bellew, that kind of gave high praise for the phenomenal career that David's had.
Incredible career. I think, as David said in his own words yesterday, incredible speed is what's kind of characterised his career. And I think when you don't have that speed anymore, that kind of central pillar to your armour, I think he knew that was it. He had to turn over a new leaf. But yeah, he's got tremendous respect because what he's done's been incredible. He was such an exciting boxer. Boxing is to some degree about styles, and he just had the style. He had the swagger. I think that was part of his appeal.
Are you going to fight the Wealdstone Raider?
It's a great question. No. Nice.
You don't want it with him?
Me. Too much.
He'd smash you?
Yeah, probably.
I'd go along with that, Adam, actually. He's a dangerous little man.
I'm probably a bit heavier than him.
Listen, in this sort of competition, size means nothing.
Fight at catch weight.
Fight at catch weight.
Super middleweight, yeah.
Alright, so we'll just put it on record. You're not looking to take on the Wealdstone Raider?
No, I'm not. No.
AKA Gordon. Joe Joyce in action this week.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been rather eventful for Joe over the last month or so. It's been linked with just about everyone and anyone, likes of Baby Miller to Bryant Jennings to, But he's got a job to do this week.
He does. He's got a defensive title Friday night, and you can't take anyone for granted. He's been out in Kazakhstan with Ismail Salas training. Salas is out there with Bebas Shumenov. So Joe's had to show the dedication to go out there on his own, train in a foreign place. He's looking good. He's in excellent shape as always. And what you're seeing when Joe's calling out his opponents and doing all these things is a man who wants to fight anyone. Joe Joyce wants to fight anyone, and he will fight anyone. But his record is 4-0, and even though he's got a Commonwealth title, when it comes to boxing, when you look at opponents, there's got to be something in it for everybody. And so either it's about money or either it's about credibility. And the trouble for Joe, having been involved in a lot of his matchmaking, is unless there's a large amount of money, a very large amount of money, millions of dollars, the Joe Joyce kind of equation doesn't mathematically work out for a lot of boxers, because he's a very challenging opponent. And if you lose to him when he's 4-0, it doesn't look good on your record. That was the issue with Chisora. That will be the issue with others. So when we're picking opponents for Joe, it's challenging until he moves to a level where there's big money being spent.
2 days away, York Hall, live on Dave.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. I mean, MVP's here, very exciting boxer.
There's 3 women's fights on the card. I don't don't remember if that's been done here before.
No, there's Commonwealth title
including
fight,
Savannah Marshall and
Roxana, yeah. Also Cody Davis is on there, very exciting. Welsh boxer who's mentored by Joe Calzaghe, trained by Gavin Rees. I'm very excited for our Cody to be on there as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a really exciting show. Some really, really good fights, and the main event should be good as well, be explosive. We don't know a lot about Richard Lartey from Ghana. He's got, on paper a decent record, but I haven't actually seen him yet. So Joe's got to defend his belt and then look to move on. I mean, I can't say too much, but we had quite a few opponents that pulled out prior to Richard. We had one really exciting fight that unfortunately someone couldn't participate in. But there wasn't a lot of time between the May show and the June show. So after this June show, Joe will want to be back in action kind of straight away. Yes, he called out Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings was supposed to fight 18th of August against Joseph Parker. We're looking at that. We're looking at that show in Atlantic City. But again, Joe, if I say to Joe, what about this? His answer is yes. He will take on any opponent. He wants to get to the top as quickly as possible.
Adam, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we'll try and catch up with you again. And keep it real.
Thanks, KUGAN.
No worries.